Narcissist Apocalypse presents why Elle Woods is the ultimate narcissistic abuse survivor. Meet Elle Woods. She's smart, she's perky, and she's blonde. And all she really wants is for her college boyfriend, Warner Huntington III, to ask for her well-manicured hand in marriage. And this is Warner Huntington III, an arrogant-looking narcissist who loves to show off his good looks at Elle's Delta Nu sorority house, wearing sunglasses at night on his annoyingly smug face. Do we know what transpired in their relationship before this evening? No. But at dinner on this night, when our hero Elle Woods thought she was going to be the future Mrs. Warner Huntington III, the only future Warner discussed was one without her.
One of the reasons I wanted to come here tonight was to discuss our future. Well, you know how we've been having all kinds of fun lately. Well, Harvard is going to be different. I mean, my family expects a lot from me. I plan on running for office someday. If I'm going to be a senator by the time I'm 30, I need to stop dicking around. That's why I think it's time for us. Elle. Pooh Bear. I think we should break up.
And if that wasn't enough, he follows it up by saying, I need to marry a Jackie, not a Marilyn. And then he throws out the line, I do love you, but I just can't marry you. Pretty much Warner is telling her that she's not smart enough for him and that her look doesn't do it for him anymore because of how others might perceive his choices. And then to confuse the hell out of Elle, he tells her that he loves her while also showing us that he sees his future partner as a means to an end, as an actual possession. And guess what? This jerk isn't done yet. Our narcissist also states that he never thought he'd have to do this, but that's just a huge lie. He always knew he was going to do this, and he used Elle until it was time to move on to, and I'm air quoting here, someone serious. And those words are soon to become Elle's biggest motivation for changing her life. But first, Warner still had to drop her off at home. And he did. And then he just drove away without looking back as if he'd already moved on. It was such an ultimate heartless discard that had Elle reeling for weeks. And it was within this time of heartbreak and many, many, many chocolates that Elle Woods decided to become someone else, to change into someone more serious, to win back that piece of crap Warner Huntington III by getting into Harvard Law School and proving him wrong. So before we move forward, let me just state that Elle Woods was just fine the way she was before, and no one should have to change to fit the wants of your partner. If your partner doesn't like you for who you already are, screw him. If you want to change, do it for yourself, not for anyone else. Now back to Elle Woods and her struggle against the narcissist powers that be. If you thought dealing with Warner was bad enough, when Elle shows up to Harvard, she now has to deal with every one of her classmates that judges her based on her looks and talks down to her in a resentful tone as if their own grandiosity is insulted by her being allowed on the same campus as them. I hate them all so much, and so should you. Oh, and remember Warner? Elle sees him in the hallway and he's in total shock. Boom! Sucks to be Warner, or so Elle thought. That's when this narcissist introduces us to his new serious girlfriend, and she's a total bully, but that's because she's so insecure. The thought of being replaced so quickly throws Elle into a huge tailspin, and who can blame her? He moved on like she never existed. So cold-hearted. Elle deserves so much better. And it's during these times that self-care is so important. And Elle knows this, so she heads straight to the closest nail salon and meets her narcissistic abuse kindred spirit, Paulette. And all of a sudden, her manicure is turned into the ultimate support group session. Paulette doesn't see Elle as incapable, and that's good for Elle's self-esteem. However, Elle still has some trauma bond issues and wants that weasel Warner back. I'm sure Elle will look back at this moment later on in her life and wonder, that Warner was such a loser. What was I thinking? So after she leaves the salon, Warner and her start hanging out and stuff, and he's really into her and showing interest in her and touching her and stuff with his stupid hands. And then this jerk has the audacity to tell her that she's still just not smart enough. I mean, smart enough for what, Warner? You just got waitlisted and your dad had to make phone calls to even get you into Harvard, you loser. And that's when Elle finally realizes that she'll never be good enough for that jerk named Warner. And soon after that, our superhero, Elle Woods, kicks it into high gear to not just prove Warner wrong, but to everyone else that has ever doubted her. She's starting to believe in herself, one baby step at a time, and she's doing the work too. Big reminder out there, healing and growing takes work, and Elle Woods is a perfect example of that. It doesn't take long from here that everyone in school starts noticing that Elle has been working her butt off and really knows her stuff. She even gets asked to work on Professor Callahan's big case. Oh my God, amazing. Elle is so living her best life right here. Also, side note, Professor Callahan will soon reveal himself to be a disgusting narcissist himself who tries to sleep with Elle. And guess what? If this was made in the year 2020, he'd for sure be Me Too'd into oblivion. Side note, over, because this video is all about Elle and that moron Warner Huntington III. So let's just fast forward to getting upset by more narcissistic things that spew out of his pie hole. Like when Elle promises the defendant, former Delta News sister Brooke, that she won't give up her alibi no matter what. And Warner was like, if you give her the alibi, you'll get Professor Callahan's internship. Think about yourself. And that's why Warner is such garbage. Like his recommendation to Elle, he only thinks about himself, and he's willing to admit it out loud too. Real classy guy you are, Warner. Real classy guy. Anyway, to make a long and complicated story short, crazy stuff happens in court. Elle becomes the lead attorney because she's so awesome, wins the case against all odds because she's even awesomer than awesome, and then when the poor man's Tom Brady in the looks department, Warner Huntington III, chases after her and calls her brilliant and says he was wrong about her and that he loves her. Like honestly, Warner, that may have worked like 3 weeks ago, but not now. That trauma bond is so severely severed. Elle, like all of us now know, can see you for the narcissist that you are, and you're going to have to find someone else to use for your future stint as some Northeastern senator, you idiot. Sorry, I went off on a huge tangent there, but yes! Elle turns him down, becomes valedictorian, and proves that you can battle through dating a narcissist and the aftermath by finding faith and value in yourself. So thank you to Elle Woods for working through the pain and being an inspiration to every narcissistic abuse survivor out there. And if you liked our video about Elle Woods being the ultimate narcissistic abuse survivor, please do subscribe to our channel now, because in the future you won't want to miss more of our narcissistic pop culture content coming soon.